Now I got you do drills just naturally to work on different things. So 4-on-3s, working on transition. 4-on-4s working on spacing. Defensive drills. You got 5-on-5 shells. Now I got to run plays. Now I got to do defenses. That's a lot to do. It's a lot of things you got to cover in maybe 6 hours of practice a week.
Yeah.
If you've got 10 hours of practice a week and you don't have to do all the individual stuff because they're doing individuals, now you got a lot more time to play with. Now the team looks better because now I can spend an hour playing in a practice if I want to. If I've got 2 hours, an hour can be playing. Like you just be, playing different things, 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5, whatever it is. And I can still spend an hour working on the plays, working on drills or shooting it, as opposed to not being able to have that time. So it's just, over that, you're naturally going to be able to get better than other people. Right. Yeah. So naturally when teams play, when you see teams play the UK teams from Europe, there's more cohesion just because they have more time to play, playing together. Like it's not necessarily because they're better players, because you have more time. Like because once you get to the pros, everyone's a pro.
Right.
So it's not like you're a pro, he's not a pro.
Yeah.
How much time do you put into your work? How purposeful are you with what you do? Once you get to that point, then you look at who's doing what, who's not. So that was one of the biggest things when I made obviously the move to Italy was, wow, I'm doing so much more. Yeah. And it's like I'm getting better for it because, I had great coaches in the UK, but you can only do so much with the time you have. If you only have,
True as well.
They say everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, but how it was for us basketball in the UK, we had 6 hours a week.
Yeah.
Now I've got 15, 20 hours a week. Like it's just
crazy.
Just mass purposes, I'm gonna be able to do more and improve. So, I love what my coaches in the UK were able to give me and to able to, to embed it in my mindset and how I approach the game and all of that things. Because it definitely helped me when I went to Italy. And then the coach I had in Italy were great because they helped me. They gave me the time and the patience, and they helped me work to help me become the player I am today. So
right. And even on that, like, a big shout out to the coaches in the UK that got you to where you are now. When you made that shit over to Italy, who were, or if there were any coaches, mentors, or players that kind of helped you along the way, and what were they helping you with to kind of find you how you are as a pro, would you say?
Is this UK or this when I went over in Italy? So when I go over to Italy, obviously all the coaches I had at the junior program were super important for me. The head of the youth academy, his name was Federico Danna, or his name is Federico Danna. And that's the Italian. Yeah. So yeah, he was obviously a big part of my development because he was who recruited me. Basically, he was who came to watch me in a European championship. So he had the vision. So a lot of I guess my journey is dedicated to him and him seeing what I could, potentially become. And he was the one, again, as the head of the youth program, the one who, maybe learned Italian and made sure I was doing okay and stuff like that. And when I had issues, that was who I would go to. And then obviously on the court, he was tough on me, but it was because, he saw potential. And, I've always appreciated when a coach can express the fact that they want you to do well. And even if they're tough with it, then it's like, it's because I want you to succeed.
Yes.
And a lot of people see, coaches that scream and yell and as coach, they just hate me. Coach hates me. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes it's not productive when coaches do that, but most of the time it's because they see potential, in what you can do. If they don't care about you, they won't tell you anything. If they know that's, it's the problem, when they don't yell at you, that's when you got a problem. Because then it's like, he's not even wasting his breath on you, sort of thing. So it's like, so he was definitely tough, but it was also like, but as soon as you step off the court, he was cool. Like he was making sure I was good. So I knew it wasn't, he just don't like me. It was, he just wants me to, he knows what I can become. He wants to help me get there. And then player wise, obviously all my teammates at the time, they helped me feel as comfortable as possible, but also, the professionals on the men's team at the time, they were great with us because I would practice with them a couple times, a week sometimes. And sometimes I'd actually, get into the fives if someone was injured or for different reasons. And they were great. They were trying to help me and give me little tips and things I could improve, and I was doing, they'd help me if I was doing well. And then the one thing I respected the most is they tried to go at me. So like they made me have to it wasn't a thing, the kid's on, let's take it easy. I was like, nah, the kid's on, kill him. The things like, And I was like, damn, I got a really, because when I was playing with my teammates, it was like I was bigger and stronger than most of them. So like, sometimes I was like, this is not easy, but I could have my way a little bit. I was able to dominate in different ways. Now I'm playing with the men's team, and it's like, okay, I can't just drive and bump someone and they move out of the way. Now I bump and I get bumped back. Thing. So it was like, now I need to make sure I'm ready to go at this level, because that's going to be the next step for me. I don't want to. And it's one thing I appreciated with the coaches, that they made me play up and they made me practice with the men, because it was like, cool, I'm obviously going to do my thing at my level, but it's not the level I'm trying to stop at. Like, I'm trying to keep getting better. So, if I can start doing this stuff against the men's team, now I can show I can play at that level. Now, when I get to that level, I can try and do the same things. So, I was really appreciative of that. And just, all the players that there was on that team, those teams, those early years, that were really supportive and really helpful with it, because they saw, obviously, I was coming from, abroad, and I may have struggled with just, acclimatizing. So they made sure I was cool, which was, I really appreciated.
That's what's up. I'm kind of just making that shift to personal meeting, because this is something that I'm starting to ask now more so when it comes to players and pro players like yourself. Like, wearing the jersey, but the meaning of the number. Like for me, I wear number 7, and I've even got it tatted on me, because like my pops' favorite number is 7. Myself, my little brother and sister are all 7 years apart, and for me, just 7 held like something important for me. So if I'm playing, have to wear 7. So for yourself, it's 24.
24. Yeah.
I don't want to assume the obvious answer unless you tell me it is, but what's the story behind that jersey number around?
So my one, unfortunately, doesn't have one as deep as that, because that is fire. Like, that is actually fire to have, the 7-year difference and stuff. That's crazy. Mine is really just because it's my birthday. Mine is really simple. It was so when I played youth, I had a few different numbers. So I think at one point I had 11 with the national team. At one point I had, I want to say 12 as well. In Italy, we had 20 at some point. Like, it wasn't until I got to the pros, I'm like, I need a number that I'm going to sort of stick with for a bit. So I Kobe was my favorite player. So that's like another kind of reason, because I loved Kobe, rest in peace. And so I was like, our birthday is 24th of March. I was like, okay, 24 can rock. I saw with my name, I was like, yeah, I can work with that.